'Tis I.
It is who?
'Tis I.
Who's that?
I. The one and only Mrs. Sawyer.
The one and only.
The one and only Mrs. Sawyer.
Oh, you feel like you conquered something now.
No, that wasn't even where I was going with that.
That was pretty insensitive.
I wasn't even going that,
was
way.
so insensitive.
I was not even going that way. Oh my goodness, that was terrible.
That was terrible.
That was not my intent.
Wow.
At all.
Wow.
At all.
Wow. That was shocking.
That was
and we're
shocking.
here to shock you. This is the 1 year anniversary of the podcast known as Only Black Kids in the Class. I'm Robert Sawyer.
And I'm Mrs. Sawyer.
And together we are the only Black Kids in the class. I'm here with the one and only Mrs. Sawyer.
Yes.
And we're here to read some Ask the Black Kids submissions. So if you have been rocking with us or
are new to rocking with us, we are married besties, laughing through life and judging just a bit. And so we decided a little over a year ago to create a podcast that was going to be an escape for us. We work in pretty serious fields and can be pretty serious all the time. And we said, we want to laugh a little more. We want to add a little lightheartedness to our days. And a year later, who knew so many of you would also appreciate some of the lightheartedness. I think we've had some serious episodes. Oh yeah, we have.
We've talked about some relationships. We started off, the goal was to read Am I the Assholes and just laugh at crazy shit on the internet.
Yep.
And lo and behold, we started building a community.
Yes, we have.
At a certain point, I was like, do we have a relationship podcast? We're always talking about relationships. And now, I don't know. We just have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't really know so
We'll
much.
give you all just a little sneak into our lives.
Well, what's interesting, when I read the comments these days, they're commenting on us. It's like, yeah, toxic confession. I get it. Anyway, back to Mrs. Sawyer being delusional.
Oh, you just like saying stuff like that.
Oh no.
Oh, you like just saying Mrs. Sawyer is delusional.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, you do.
It's not just me.
Oh, it's not just
I'm
you.
what the culture's feeling.
It's not just you. You're relishing in
no.
and the validation of others.
You see, the week
making
before,
those statements.
the week before,
I get it.
The week before, classmates were on my ass. How dare you disagree with Mrs. Sawyer? Mrs. Sawyer, blink twice if you're okay. You deserve better, girl. That was a week before. He's a contrarian. Maybe sometimes. I don't. To be honest, in that instance, I really wasn't just being a contrarian, but they were on my ass the week before. Oh, but the next week.
The week before, what was that about? The micro penis?
I'm not. You know what?
That's what I just
got out of classmate jail, so I'm not going to make reference to whatever you're talking about.
The lying about the micro penis. Yeah.
Well,
you said you didn't want to go back there.
No, I'm just responding to my wife. I'm just responding to my wife. In reference to my comments on that, the only thing I would like to point out, at least once, I think maybe twice, but at least once, I clearly said, I agree with you.
You did.
Of course, he's wrong for what he did.
You did.
However, I also understand shame.
Yeah, you did.
99% of the comments, this guy's over. This is a wrap. This is my first time seeing this podcast, and it's my last because of how he keeps. Can I live? I clearly said I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah. He is wrong for lying. I clearly said
you said those. However,
no, they didn't care about all that.
I
shit.
know it's not a but, but kind of like they
didn't care about that.
Kind of like negates the first part.
You're focusing on the wrong episode. Let's get to the more important comments.
Now you want to get into something.
Let's get to the more important comments.
Okay.
I love this one
because I didn't even see them.
I'm going to say your name wrong.
Okay.
Miss Cherry Mac is what I will say. I'm gonna say your first name wrong. I can relate to Mrs. Sawyer so much, but she cracks me up the way she downplays how much of a kept woman she is. She gets properties for Christmas and says she gets nothing for Christmas.
She gets a trip to Florence, Italy once getting engaged, but y'all did nothing. Ma'am, you are spoiled. Live in your truth. Love you too. So I did promise a shout out to everyone that got the correct answer. And of course, I wrote that list and then we kept getting answers. So we're going to do it right now.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Lucky Penny, who said she gets trips. Correct, but that was not the specific answer. The specific answer was investment properties to grow her portfolio. Sign me up. I'll take that over anything on my list.
Agreed.
Shout out to you, Just Jazzy. OMC Night. I believe it was property for 200, Alex. Shout out to you.
Oh, I love it.
Rhea Jolie says she gets property for Christmas. It's funny how everyone else knows.
I know
It's funny.
too. That's not what I was saying though.
Yeah.
It's being taken out of context.
W. Lee 1220 says, doesn't he buy her property for Christmas?
Yeah.
They know.
I know.
I'm shouting out everybody.
Shout them all out.
Serendipity 989. He buys Mrs. Sawyer investment properties.
I like that.
Yeah, I know you like it.
I like that better than gift, but I said we don't exchange gifts. We don't exchange gifts. I still stick by it.
This one just came in. This one is only an hour old, so I'm not read this. Karina Lindsay 1231 says, "Oh my gosh, Mrs. Sawyer, you guys went on a vacation for your engagement. Robert kept that part on the low, but of course he knew that you guys were going to be engaged on the vacation. His thoughts were something like this: I got this ring. We're going to plan the vacation. Then boom, I'm going to take my fiance to Italy. The vacation was for the engagement. They are not separate. Those two things were planned as a complete package. He just didn't explicitly say this vacation is step 2 of the engagement. But it was! Exclamation point. Love y'all, but Lord, someone, not saying who, needs to work on conceding that, okay, I can see how those steps on your side equal this form for your perspective. Perhaps even objectively equals this thing I didn't consider / was aware of." She's saying someone needs to figure that out.
And there's nothing for me to figure out. I stand on my
and that's how dismissive she is to me as well.
That's not dismissive at all. See? I mean, I understand.
She's offering someone. She didn't name who. She's offering someone a chance for some self-awareness
of what transpired. However, we were going on vacation. You gave me a ring. It was not a 2-in-1.
Mrs. Sawyer stresses me out. LOL, girl. Your perspective is bananas. LOL. This is from Busy Work B. Sounds like Italy was the proposal, LOL.
No. We already decided to go. We're just living our best lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet P13 says, you purchased real estate property to grow Mrs. Sawyer real estate portfolio.
Those are all factual statements.
Tierney Ross 3298 says she got an investment property for Christmas, LOL. And I'm going to give an extra special shout out to Tierney Ross because Tierney was our first YouTube comment ever.
Woo!
Ever. So that's sometime earlier last year. And or that might have been early this year because when we first dropped, we didn't get no comments. Whenever Tierney, whenever the first time you commented, you were the first one. And I was so excited. I wrote, "Oh my God, Tierney, thank you so much. You're the first comment." And you never even responded to that. That's okay, though, because you're still here and we appreciate
Or they're there. I don't know.
Let's see. Who else we got? So what I'm gathering is that Mrs. Sawyer doesn't think he proposed because he didn't specifically say, "Will you marry me?" But we all know the trip was part of it.
It wasn't part of it.
Misha 745 said that.
It wasn't part of it.
Shine Car 79. You go keep on with that shit. See?
It wasn't part of it.
Years later, it still wasn't part of it. Okay.
No.
Shine Car 79 says, Mrs. Sawyer, you were proposed to. The question just wasn't traditionally formatted.
There was no question. It was, I'm taking my fiance, not my girlfriend. It was a statement. It wasn't even prosed as a question. No. But it's okay.
I said whoever names what you actually get for Christmas gets a shout out. So before we conflate the two, shout out to everyone that actually pays attention.
Yes.
Because we see she doesn't. Right?
I pay attention.
Okay.
I thank you all.
Okay. And then I may say this incorrectly. Please forgive me, guys. Snabors 12. Could be snobors. But I'm going to say snabors. 12 says, she's right. That wasn't a proper proposal, though.
Ooh. So I like snarbars.
Snarbar. How you? Come on, bro. I didn't say nothing like snarbars.
What'd you say? Snabars?
I mean, it's a YouTube name. I don't know.
I don't know.
That person her name might be S. Nabors. I don't know.
Why are you saying it's a she?
Because I can see the picture.
Oh, I can't see the picture.
But also, you still aren't supposed to do that.
Oh, see?
Just because you can see a picture doesn't mean that's how
you see?
She identifies.
Exactly. They identify.
Snobars. See, now I'm saying, like, no. It wasn't traditionally formed. Okay, so
there you go.
I'm going to give a little insight.
There you go.
I'm going to give a little insight, a little bit of a story time.
Okay.
The Italy trip was not particularly for the engagement.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Slow down.
I already made this.
Slow down. Here's how it went. Here's how it went. Here's how it went. Here's how it went.
No.
At the time, we typically traveled around that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew we were probably going to go somewhere. We had not discussed where we were going. And I woke up one Saturday morning and I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna get an engagement ring. And I told my mom, I said, I think I'm gonna get an engagement ring. She said, you gonna marry that girl?
No, you did not. She did not.
I kid. That's funny though. That's funny. No, she didn't say that. She was like, yay. And I started like reading about diamonds and all that stuff. I had to do my quick education. And I woke up, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go buy an engagement ring. And I went and I bought the ring. This was before we actually said, oh, we're going to go to Italy.
Okay.
See, you don't know all this.
No, I don't know all that.
See, you guys, she's finding out at the same time you are.
Okay.
So I knew around when we might go on a vacation. I wasn't necessarily getting the ring in. It wasn't exactly the same thing in my head. In my head, I was just getting the ring and I know we're going to go on vacation again. Side note, this was the third ring she got from me that year. So I know her jewelry size. I've actually bought most of her jewelry collection. Well, the stuff that's worth shit. All the stuff that's not worth anything, I ain't buy that. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to make sure. So like I bought like 2 rings before that. And like I bought this like matching, whatever. It's a lot of jewelry. Used to waste so much money on her. Still do.
Not a waste.
It's not a waste at all. Who said waste?
You
Who
did.
said anything about waste?
You said you waste so much money.
Did I say waste?
You did.
Yeah.
You did. Those were the words that came out of your mouth.
I be tripping. It's not a waste. Not a waste.
I know.
So I had this ring. Well, like, I had to get it resized and all that kind of stuff. And it didn't take too long, but it took a little longer. And by the time I realized, oh, there's going to be a cross section, I'll propose in romantic Florence, Italy. Mm-hmm. That was my plan. Mm-hmm. A few days before we're going to leave for Italy, my then girlfriend, it says, hey, I'm going to go, guys, I've not thought about the story in a while. My bad. It's not like flowing. I'm going to go, what's it called? You change the money? I'm going to go exchange the money.
Oh yeah. Currency.
I'm going to go get some euros. And so I gave her some money and she had some money that she was going to exchange. And I said, hey, before I give you these bands, I need some collateral. Because she had a ring that I had given her a few years before, a chocolate diamond ring. Yeah.
One of my favorites. I still have it.
She had that on. I said, hey, I need some collateral. And at that time, she never took this ring off, like ever. She always had this ring on. I mean, she probably took it off to go to sleep or wash dishes or something, but like she's never going to take this ring off. Yeah. I was joking. I was totally joking. I was just going to give her the money. But she actually took off the ring and she gave me the ring. Yeah. And that kind of caught me off guard. So I don't think I saw you the next day, whatever, like 2 or 3 days. It was 2 days or something like that. Yeah. And now we're getting ready to go.
I was going.
And she says, well, I got the euros, but I need my ring back. And she's very serious about the ring back. So I'd already packed the engagement ring. And then now I'm about to give her back the chocolate diamond ring.
And I'm like, man, it don't really make sense to like give her this ring and then give her like tomorrow I'm gonna give her another. You know what I mean? So like I was gonna propose in Italy, but since she demanded the ring back in the living room, I was like, oh well, I'll just give her the ring now. Plus, like I'm worried I'm gonna lose the ring. I lose shit all the time. Like if it's small shit, I was very
This is true.
high level of concern I would lose the engagement ring. Like a high level of concern I could lose it. So I was like, man, I might lose this shit. Then I'm gonna be like, we're gonna be in Florence, it's gonna be beautiful. Be like, hey, you know I was about to propose to you? No, for real. No, really. I don't know what happened to the ring. Like, so because she actually gave the ring, did not think that. That's why I gave you the ring when I did. My plan was to do it in Florence, but It didn't go like that. However, they are all correct in it like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
like,
but that wasn't the reason for the vacation. We were going on vacation before then anyhow.
That's like, did you hear what I just said?
I know.
We actually were not planning the vacation.
Everyone is right. That's it.
All right. So we're not here to just talk about us. We're here to read some Ask the Black Kids.
Yes.
You know, some of us live in reality. There's you. And we are going to see who's Delulu and who's not in these Ask the Black Kids.
In my reality.
I would like to take another moment to say one thing, though.
What?
Usually, I try to respond to the YouTube comments, the Spotify comments, the Instagram comments, the TikTok comments, all this kind of stuff. Over the last 2 weeks, I really just haven't been up to it. And the reason why I have not shared this, usually we don't really talk about these kind of things. But recently, just yesterday, I buried my mother. My mother passed away a week ago, 5-year battle with dementia, and I have been her caretaker for the last 5 years. My mother lived with us, big part of our lives. You know, it's my mother, but big part of our lives taking care of her. And dementia can be pretty scary. Yeah. And so I know you guys are going to give us condolences and all that, and we appreciate that. The reason why I'm bringing it up, we say we're going to have a community. And if you're going to have a community, and people do DM us and email us some pretty personal things, we don't always read all those things. And we're human too, and we go through things. Yeah. So as I'm getting torn apart in the micro penis comments, we were, you know, my mother had entered hospice that week, and we're just waiting, pretty much. I will tell you guys, it was very helpful for me to read these comments, basically destroying me as a human being, and then the next week acknowledging that my wife is indeed crazy. It was helpful. So I'll be back in the comments. If you see me, if you made a comment 2-3 weeks ago and you just see a response like in the next week or two, we were busy helping my mother transition to the end of her life. So it's been a tough time. Burial was actually just yesterday. It's been, I am sad, but I am also extremely happy for the life my mother had. She had an amazing life before she met my dad. She had an amazing life and an amazing marriage with my father, and they raised me and my sibling in love. Like I very much grew up in a household of love. A lot of jokes, a lot of sarcasm.
And I can say she welcomes me with a lot of love. She never made me feel like an outsider. She genuinely accepted and welcomed me in. And we agreed on a lot of things.
Yeah. So if you think what we were saying in the beginning when she said the one and only Mrs. Sawyer, dark humor. My dad would have loved that as a joke. Maybe too soon for some of you. But that's where we are in life. So I'm working a little bit the rest of the year. But right now, for me in life, I am trying, or I will be processing, what does my life look like now that I'm not a caregiver. My father passed a decade ago. My mother passed just a week ago. And I'm telling you, the last 5 years, as my friends have been telling me things, and my wife and my mother-in-law, just as everyone's been telling me things, like so much of our lives were built around taking care of her. Dementia is pretty difficult, and
At a later point, maybe, I don't know when, but at a later point, we will talk about that a bit more, because I know some of you go through similar things, being caretakers for other family members or spouses or whatnot. And there's a lot of support you need that fortunately I had. And if I can give someone some resources or just some encouragement on how to make it through that, I would love to do that. Not right now. Again, it's very, very fresh.
It's kind of fresh.
eventually we'll do that. So that's the homeroom. That's where we are. And the other reason I mentioned that now is a big part of us doing the podcast is so much of our lives have to be here at home because we're taking care of her. So this is the first time we're recording an episode and she's not alive. She's not here. So doing the podcast and spending the time here, and even when I'm editing and when I'm cutting up things for social media and all that stuff, parts of that is going back and forth, making sure she's okay, and all the things we did. We did have some help towards the end, but as my neighbor told me, even if you have help, you're the caretaker and you're the person that has to make all decisions and make sure everything happens. So I am in the process of processing all that, and probably going to go to an island somewhere warm for this time of year, sit down and read my book. One of my favorite authors is Malcolm Gladwell, and I paid a lot of money to go see him speak, and we got there to see like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I did get the book, not signed or anything, but The Revenge of the Tipping Point. So I pretty much just want to go to a beach, sit down and read the book, and I don't know, vibe out.
Start your next chapter in life.
Yeah. We'll see. And with that, should we get into some
We
Ask
should
the
get
Black
into
Kids?
it. Yes. Ask the Black Kids. Woohoo.
Okay. So, do we go in order of when they came in? Guys, we had a number that were in the mailbox that I just hadn't gotten to, mostly, with things changing at home. But since we announced that we are going to read them all, whoa. Some of y'all said, well, let me get some in. Some of y'all wrote twice.
Thanks for all the submissions.
Here, you can read this one.
I can read some.
Though they always prefer when I read. To my knowledge,
so.
they prefer when I read and you react.
Yeah,
Because I don't react enough.
And I can't see.
We all know. You can't even see that ring and proposal was part of Italy.
That definitely
You don't even
was
see
not.
that all being together.
All right. So would you like me to start?
Let's get this 1 year anniversary of Ask the Black Kids going as we read only
Ask the Black Kids.
listener. It's weird to say viewer. Listener/viewer submissions.
Classmate submissions.
Classmate submissions.
That's what I'm here for.
But before we start,
The editor.
stop that shit. Stop that. Okay. That's enough of that. We're not doing that going to the next year. Stop that shit.
That's what I'm good for.
Before we get to
Let me upgrade you.
and
That's the song that came in my head. There's songs that pop from my head all the time for the certain scenarios.
I
That's the
will
song.
never deny the impact you have had on my life, my style, my taste, interest, etc. I will never deny that. But I sometimes feel you underplay, who.
So like I can keep it in theme. So like Upgrade You by Beyonce came in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start talking like that, Ego came up.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's a good song. It's a good little thing.
Ego.
I can keep this going.
Ego.
Yeah.
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 You and compare. All right, never mind. Let's read these letters.
Woo! So am I going first?
Yes.
Okay. Hello. I am the middle child of 10 siblings. I am labeled the black sheep of the family,
Hey, me too.
but I do not view myself as such. I feel I am just the one who doesn't take my parents' BS and stand up to them. My siblings allow our parents to talk to them and treat them any way they want and never say anything to them about it, but complain it to the other siblings. I, on the other hand, stand up to them well until our dad passed away. My mother is quick, to call me disrespectful, and other things because I am the one that will go back and forth with her when I feel she's being disrespectful and hurtful towards me. And because she's my parent, she feels we should be seen and not heard. However, I am not a 3-year-old child. You have to teach people how you want to be treated. I have been on my own since I was 18 and never returned home. I am now 32. Being a parent doesn't give you the right to be callous and disrespectful. It doesn't give you a get out of jail free card. My mother is very harsh when she speaks to us, and she masks it with, I'm just being honest. Honestly isn't disrespect. The two do not inhabit the same world. I have recently have to cut my mother and some siblings off with infinite no contact. I feel everyone is deserving of respect. I am queer, so I get so much hate from that also. I call my mother a trigger, and I hope she wonders why none of her kids come to her first when things are going sour. She's not a safe haven. She's not kind. She shows no compassion and empathy. Am I an asshole for cutting her off?
What do you think?
Well, I think there's a part there you stand up and you're right. There's no need to be disrespected upon, that kind of thing. But I think there's also a part of the talking. So if it's just only to, be combative, I don't think that's moving in a way of a solution kind of thing. So I'm all for.
But some people aren't interested in the solution.
I hear you, and that's why I say if that's already been tried and not done, then you do what you have to do. But I think that's a spot some people miss out on as an opportunity to get like a better start to the relationship than just combating the disrespect. Like, hey, what you said, I don't like that. That's disrespectful. Can we try that again? Is there another way you could talk to me? As opposed to saying, okay, no, I'm not dealing with that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there's a difference in just putting the boundary up, which is to me is necessary. But then sometimes you have to be the bigger adult.
Well, I think the boundary was when you went no contact, because I can't set a boundary for your behavior.
Fair.
I have to set a boundary for my behavior.
Fair.
And when you cross the boundary, what I'm going to do, because I can't really enforce anything upon you. I can only control me.
Correct.
So I don't think you're the asshole for cutting them off. I don't think you're.
Oh no, I don't agree.
I don't think any
all.
part of this
No.
is you being the asshole. I think. Especially if you're being subjugated for who you are and for what they assume what you are, that there's a problem with you being queer. There's no world where you can just not be you to make them feel better, nor should you.
Right.
The only thing I would tell you is a lot of times, and you may have grown up like this, but at a certain point, you combating what your mom says, or even both your parents when your father was still alive, you standing up for yourself, at a certain point, I would tell you don't do that anymore. Because me acknowledging the dumb shit and the ignorant shit, the rude shit, the vile shit that you said to me suggests that you even had the right to say that to me.
Correct. I
think you have to, and I think you are, protecting your peace, and you're going no contact, which sadly people do because of the situation. Some people are not interested in a solution. Some people just want to bicker and complain and put you down and be assholes, and then they call it honesty. I speak very blunt. I'm not a dick, contrary to what some of you may think when we're talking about micro penises. You can be honest and you can be forthcoming without being cuttingly dry and rude. There's this thing called compassion. There's a thing called empathy. Mm-hmm. So I can tell my wife, I can tell my clients the truth, but I'm not shitting on them.
Right.
They might not like what I'm saying.
You're not putting them down.
Yeah, they might. Right. You might not like what I'm saying, but at least I hope, and what people have told me, even if they don't like what I say, they know that I support them. I'm just acknowledging the part that they might not want to see, which in particular is my job.
Right. Which is also, a lot of that stuff is still subjective.
Yeah.
And they may disagree, which is okay. I think that's a part with adults. It's okay to disagree, but you also don't have, there's a way of going about it.
Not to keep going back to the micro penis thing, but
in particular.
You really like that.
What I loved about it, I don't want everyone to agree with me just because, why?
Yeah.
There's no discourse there. If everyone's just agreeing,
no. Yeah.
that's pretty boring.
No, that's
these stories would
boring.
be short as hell. Right. Everyone agrees. Okay.
Yeah. I cannot have like that's something that we've talked about over the year of doing this podcast. I can't have people around me that are just yes men. I don't need that. Call me full of myself or not, but I already have that validation.
Well, I don't get better when I go
Correct.
against. If
exactly.
I
need someone to show me the other side.
Yeah, I'm not looking for arguments to complain and to be rude and stuff like that. But I mean, if your thoughts are never challenged,
correct. I want to see that. I heard actually, you know what? There was someone said this to me, and it made me really think about it, and I've thought about it a lot, and it was like, if you draw a pyramid, right? From one side you see what?
A triangle.
A triangle. From another side you see what?
I have no idea. I'm not that good at geometry.
A square. Okay. And then if you look at it from the top side, you actually see the pyramid, right? Mm-hmm. So depending on what side you're looking at it, it's still the same pyramid, but you're seeing different angles of it, right? So when I thought about that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that really clicks for me because
it's the 3 blind men and an elephant.
Right.
Remember that?
Vaguely. But I think it's a similar message. I remember the message being similar.
Yeah. 3 blind men are taken to an elephant, and one is at the tail and says, oh, this animal is very skinny and wiry. Mm-hmm. One's at the trunk, says, no, this animal is extremely thick.
Yeah.
And long. And the other one that's touching it on the side, no, this animal is very broad and all that. Yeah. They're all touching the elephant, but depending on where you are, you will experience different parts of it.
Right.
So I greatly want a community where we can engage in thoughts, and challenge thoughts and grow.
Absolutely.
I think for this classmate, I think your parents, your mother now, the intention isn't to help you grow though. The intention is to put you down. And for whatever reason, they think that that's love and that they get the right to do that. Respect is earned, even from elders. Like, I treat children with respect. That's why children like me.
Yeah. My only challenge to the poster, and I don't know this to be true, I mean, that would be like a back and forth conversation, is to challenge yourself to see if the feedback that you're given or have given is towards that solution part. And if they don't want to, then I agree. But just sometimes that's a missing component where I also find myself where you kind of get like in that defensive because you don't like, right? If you're getting something keeps hurting you, you're going to defend it to stop it. Right. But is there something that you can do to help mediate that?
But see that, you said hurting, and that's where I draw the difference between discomfort and pain.
Correct.
What your mother's saying shouldn't be causing you pain.
I agree.
You tell me things that can be uncomfortable, but you're not hurting me, nor is your intention to hurt me. It sounds like the person's mom is basically throwing a rock and hiding their hand, like saying some just fucked up shit and be like, well, I'm just being honest. No, you're being a dick.
No, I hear you.
You're being terrible.
And I'm not disagreeing with you at all. And if that's the intent of the mom, if that's how it's felt, then I agree with you. But I'm just saying challenge yourself to make sure, because then later on that would lead to like regret also. If there's something that you could have done and you didn't do it, is what I'm saying.
From this person's letter, and of course we only get one side, but
right?
From this person's letter,
and a small snippet,
they've done what they can.
Well, I mean, they just said that they're the ones that stand up to it, and I don't know if they do anything to mediate it.
We got a lot more.
Let's go.
I was a Karen, and it felt good.
Oh.
Disclaimer: I do not care if I'm the asshole. I feel like being a Karen is justifiable in certain situations. So here we go. This is a long one.
Here we go.
They acknowledge it's a long one, though.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. I, 28 years young trans woman, and 2 friends, 27 and 26-year-old females, went out to treat ourselves as we do every Monday. We normally do the same thing each Monday. All you can eat seafood boils and a little shopping here and there inside of the mall strip at the seafood restaurant where the seafood restaurant is located.
I like this.
On this day, friend A suggests we should do an activity to work off the big meal that we just ate. Let's call this friend Pizza Face.
Pizza face. Okay.
Now, when I read that, I said, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Pizza face does not sound like a compliment.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about like pepperoni, so I'm thinking like.
I'm thinking about a movie in the 80s. It might have been Spaceballs. I digress.
Wow.
After Pizza Face suggested an activity like the brown nose she is, Fred.
Wow. It's great to have friends.
Spicy.
I like
spicy. After Pizza Face suggested an activity like the brown nose she is, friend B, let's call her Bread Puddin', hopped on the idea and suggested bowling. I didn't really care. I like spending time with Pizza Face because we've been friends since 2006 and going strong. We still are to this day. We arrive at the bowling alley, and for some reason, me and Pizza Face's cards aren't working at the front register to get our bowling lane. However, Bread Pudding's card is working. So me and Pizza Face zell her the money for our entry, and the games begin. We played for about an hour, and now I'm very thirsty, and I can feel myself getting tired. So I head to the vending machine to get something to drink. I knew my card didn't work at the front, but I didn't think the same issue would happen at the machine. But it does. The machine isn't taking my card. So, of course, I'd ask Bread Pudding, would she be so kind to get me a drink, and I'd pay her back. She agreed and went to get the drinks. A few minutes go by, and she comes back with a card in hand and no drinks. So, of course, I'm wondering, what's up? And she says the vending machine took her money for the 2 drinks, and when she went up to the front to tell them, they told her it would take up to 3 to 5 business days to get a refund and to call this number. This is where it goes left. I approach the cashier and ask the situation, and he repeats to me the same as he'd said to my friend, and there's nothing that he could do. So what did I do? I said the magic words, "May I speak to your manager, please?"
That's right.
The guy gets his manager, and we go over the same process that I did with the employee before her. But then she adds a bit of new information that had me heated. She says to me, "Yeah, the machine sometimes does that," referring to taking people's money and not providing them their drinks. So I snap. So if you knew this, why not leave a note or a sign on the machine stating this or saying out of order? I think it's fair to give the customer a chance if they'd like to take that risk before placing their money in your machine. The manager goes on to say that the owners won't allow it because the machine sometimes works. Okay. So, of course, I asked for our money back because not only did the machine take the money, but you knew that the machine was a damn thief. She says the same as before. The money will be back on the card within 3 to 5 business days after calling the number on the card. So I clap back with, "It ain't take 3 to 5 business days for y'all to steal my money."
That's right.
That's when Pizza Face and Bread Pudding come over and starts telling me I need to calm down. Now I know my tone is very stern when I'm doing my best to get my point across. However, it wasn't as if I was being hostile or aggressive for me to have to calm down. My style doesn't call for raising my voice or resorting to violence when I don't have to. Quite frankly, I feel stating things calmly with a sense of nobility hits harder when your points are valid. So I say to my friends, "What about me isn't calm to you?" They start to tell me how my actions are embarrassing. I shouldn't act like that because it's just $6. And I remind them if it's just $6, then they can just give it back. Bread Pudding takes it a step further and says, "It wasn't even your money. Why are you so angry?" And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I raise my voice and respond, "Bitch, I'm thirsty." We need to clip that up. I just want to use that in every episode. Bitch, I'm thirsty. The subtitle for this episode is "Bitch, I'm thirsty."
Okay.
And I'd already zelled you my $3 for my drink, ho.
Yes.
ATL, ho. She continues, "Wow, $3? Is that all?" And I said, "You damn right. Only a broke bitch thinks $3 don't have no value to it."
Ooh.
But you see how hard they're going to keep that $6, right? In the middle of our back and forth, the manager says to us, "The owner offered you guys fountain drinks if you'd like."
Okay.
I jumped to it because honestly, I was just thirsty as hell. And I felt, "Bitch, I'm thirsty." I jumped to it because honestly, I was just thirsty as hell. And I felt it wasn't a bad trade-off. After I got my drink, I was the happiest person in the world. I was smiling and singing along to the background music in the bowling alley. Yeah. And on the way out the door, back to Pizza Face's car. The car ride was a little quiet, but honestly, I was into my soda, and I hardly realized that tension. I'm a person who moves on extremely quickly once my point is proven.
That's right.
But Pizza Face and Bread Pudding still had an issue with my behavior.
Lord.
And Bread Pudding says the unthinkable. Why are y'all so dramatic about small shit?
Oh.
Puzzled, I'd ask, who is y'all?
Yeah.
And she goes on to say, I have a gay best friend, and he says that people in y'all community does things like that for attention.
Who's y'all?
I'm not saying you're
Who's
an
y'all
attention
community?
seeker. I cut her off right there. Your best friend is an outcast who sells himself for $40 on Grindr.
God damn.
And wears knockoff Gucci.
God damn.
You think I give a fuck about what an attention-seeking hoe has to say about attention-seeking hoes? 8. The read.
Woo.
Whew.
That's a read, write, and erase. I love it. Yes.
Good execution of that, honey.
Yes.
I'm just read that one more time. I gotta read that one more time. I cut her off right there. Your best friend is an outcast who sells himself for $40 on Grindr and wears knockoff Gucci.
God
you think I give a fuck about what an attention-seeking hoe
That
has to
is right.
say about attention-seeking hoes?
Exactly.
Pizza Face chimes in and says to me, we just think you could have handled that better.
Nah, bitch. You need to just drive.
As black women, we have a standard to uphold, and you can make yourself
boy.
look bad arguing over small money. I spat back, said the girl who was fired from Target because she didn't charge a customer 25 cents for a red shopping bag. Ooh. Why are we pointing fingers at me in a situation where I wasn't in the wrong to react the way I did? She dropped me off at home, and we haven't had our Monday gathering since, and I've honestly started to just treat myself instead. At least if I'm alone and something like this happens, I can act out how I want and won't be judged by people I care about. A few other notes. I wasn't in the wrong how I responded to the bowling alley employees. And as a friend, if I'm defending you, I feel like you should have had my back instead of showing empathy to the manager and staff. Or at least wait until we got inside the car to tell me I was doing too much.
That's fair. That's fair.
That I would have responded better to.
Yeah.
The staff clearly showed no empathy to you until I stood up for you. Then for both of you to stereotype me to validate your opinions is crazy. But I still have to ask, was my Karen chaos justifiable, referring to the bowling alley only? I know I could have been nicer to the girls, but at the time my Karen powers took over me. So the question in that story, that story full of quotables, the question is, was my Karen chaos justifiable in the bowling alley?
Yes. I thought she was nice.
Yes.
I thought she was nice. I could have gone a different way. Okay, so the owners know that, and get the owners on the phone. Get the owners here then.
It's not the way I would have done it.
No, not how he would have done it. I would have done something similar, especially if I was thirsty. So why didn't you just offer the fountain drink in the first place?
But I don't think there's something wrong with what you did.
Not at all. Not at all.
But your story, we can't not talk about the other thing. So I know you said you do not care if you're the asshole. But FYI, you're not the asshole. What I'm most concerned about in your story, what most strikes me is how quick, who's that, Bread Pudding? How quick Bread Pudding starts saying, why do y'all?
They never specified y'all community. And I don't understand what that was. So that would have been a whole heated thing. I would have been off on the side of the street getting an Uber because I don't want to be in the car with y'all.
So
no.
The classmates are for everybody. But there are some differences. And I've always known for some of my friends, I am their black friend. And as long as you treat me as your friend and not your black friend, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But when you start treating me as my black friend,
yeah,
well, that means you're putting this distance to me.
Correct.
So I'm wondering, is Bread Pudding treating you like my trans friend and not a friend? Because how quick it was to be a y'all.
Yeah.
So it's okay to discuss differences. It's totally okay to discuss differences.
I don't do that well.
It's not like I pretend there are no differences amongst people. But just to lump you in and what the fuck is that?
And what did I got to do with you? Because they not there in the car. Why are you even bringing that in to the conversation?
Yeah, I really felt that was fucked up.
I think what happened was you had some people you were cool with. Y'all used to have this little ritual, and you found out they're not really friends. They were just associates. And that's where associates are.
They said Pizza Face is still a friend.
Oh, well, that's what happened.
In the beginning, she said that.
What happened when you bring along the other ones?
But Bread Pudding
got something else. That's the bread pudding with the raisins. And I don't eat bread pudding with the raisins. That's what that is.
Yeah, I really think that was hella
that's
fucked
bread
up.
pudding with raisins. And I don't like raisins in my bread pudding.
The world is gonna other you enough. You don't need to be othered by your friends.
Yeah.
So I don't think friends would do
But then
that.
I would question as your friend, how come you and the friend haven't gone and do your seafood bowl?
I don't know.
Y'all get back.
Maybe
to
they'll
that.
write back.
Maybe they
Let
will.
us know what's going on with
Good
Pizza
luck
Face.
with that. But that was good. It was well written too. It was well written.
Bitch, I'm thirsty.
I love it. I love it.
Your friend sells some. Never mind. That shit was spicy. All right.
Ooh, I'm there for it. That's a good
So
time.
many more. So many more.
Let's go.
I don't know, honey. We might have to break this into a part 2. I know you said we're gonna read them all. We might be here. Might be a part 2. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
We're gonna try. Episode Savage Mode, listener submissions. Hey there. Love sitting in on your conversations and seeing how you guys consider things in a very relatable and clear-headed way. You both think about things thoughtfully and logically to the fullest extent you can, and I think that's where your useful insight comes from. Thank you for sharing with us. Anyway, I wanted to jump in on this topic if you don't mind.
Okay.
I agree with Robert that the husband who didn't understand biology is behaving stupidly, and maybe he even is stupid. So if you remember, this episode is called Savage Mode. I don't know when it came out, but you remember there was a guy who was mad that they kept having daughters and he was blaming the wife.
But
But his mom, his mom was a biologist or something. So he went and asked his mom.
His mom was like, "Yeah, dummy." That's it.
And his mom said, "I knew you was stupid."
I knew you were slow. Yeah, so I put you on that short bus. Yeah.
A smart person could entertain the idea that maybe they don't have all the information or that they might be wrong. A person who couldn't entertain those thoughts would never be smart, so long as their thinking pattern remained that way. I wouldn't be so quick to say stupid exactly, but definitely not smart. And you are very kind, because he a dumbass. I was about to end this, but then I decided to look up the definition of the word stupid. Stupid, having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. This suggests he is stupid after all. Again.
Oh, I love this classmate.
You're nice.
I love this
You're
classmate.
so nice.
This is
You're so nice.
yes.
Love the podcast. I never get tired of listening to you guys. K.
Aw.
So don't forget, guys, I'm not going to say your names. If you tell me I can say your name, I'll say your name. If you put like a letter, I'll say a letter. But we try to keep it HIPAA compliant over here.
Yeah. Hi, Kay. Love that. Love that. She
Thank
looks
you,
to
Kay.
She's like, he clearly is stupid.
This suggests.
The mama knew. The mama knew.
This suggests he may be stupid.
Yes.
Kay, you're too kind. Here, you can read that one.
Oh boy, different format. Ooh.
You want it on the phone?
Now I got here.
I
Let's
guess
see.
you on the phone.
Am I the asshole for having second thoughts about my girlfriend? When we first met, I thought she was your average girl. She'd get glammed up for dates and be chill at home, which is something I appreciate. However, I realized she rarely does anything without getting fully glammed. For example, she once came to my parents' house in a full dress, heels, and a full face of makeup, while the rest of the family was in comfortable clothing. She definitely stood out in that scenario. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate dressing well and wear bespoke. I agree with you. And wear bespoke, tailored clothing when the occasion calls for it, but there's a time and place. It's been a couple of years, and I still haven't seen her natural hair.
Ooh.
It feels like she's hiding from me. I've told her that I'm not ignorant about her natural hair texture. When I have asked to see her hair, she says I'm bullying or harassing her, even to the point where she starts to break down and cry. Recently, she also got a breast augmentation and veneers, something I've never asked for her to do. It's almost as if she doesn't love herself. Her personality is great for the most part, but I didn't sign up for all the fake stuff. So I guess the original question is, am I the asshole for having second thoughts about my girlfriend?
No. No, you're not an asshole for having second thoughts about your girlfriend. Now, where you may be the asshole.
I'll let you go before I start.
Certain thinking like she also got a breast augmentation and veneers, something I've never asked for. It's her body, sir.
Yeah, what did you got to do with that? She want to do that for her.
Yeah, she may have done it for herself. She may have thought you might like it. I don't know why she did it, but it's not your choice. It's not
your thing.
Her whole appearance isn't about you.
Now, if that's not something you like, that's your opinion. To not be attracted to that or not like that, that's on you. That's just like it's your opinion to like that or not. It's her opinion. That's what she want to do.
However, It's been a couple of years and I still haven't seen her natural hair. It feels like she's hiding from me. I've told her that I'm not ignorant about her natural hair texture. When I've asked to see her hair, she says I'm bullying or harassing her. What? Even to the point where she starts to break down and cry. What?
You making her cry because she don't want to show you her hair? Maybe you haven't earned a seat there to get that yet.
That's one take. It's ridiculous. But what do you like? What's the argument here? She doesn't want to show you her hair. It's important for you to see her hair. Break up.
Yeah, it's not like it's a compatibility issue there.
There's nothing. What are you reconsidering?
Yeah,
You didn't even say how much you love her. You said her personality is great,
and she dresses
for
up
the most part.
For the most part, like I wouldn't show you my.
My wife's personality is great, not for the most part. She's a jerk, but only I get to say that. You don't get to say that. I'll beat you. Anyway, no, you're not an asshole for second guessing, but I think you've already second guessed.
Yeah,
she should be with someone that loves her hard wig
or whatever it is. That's just
hard wig, soft life, baby.
Whatever. I mean, and that's I don't know. That whole thing to me made me feel a certain kind of way when I start reading it.
I feel like everyone sucks here.
Well, I mean, I haven't heard. I mean, he only said his part about the girlfriend. I don't really know how.
The reason why I'm saying everyone sucks here. Crying because he asked to see your hair. It depends. If he's saying like, "Bitch, let me see your hair," I can see crying. But he's just like, "Honey, you know I love you," and like, years. He didn't say like 2 months. He said years. She ain't letting them roots breathe in years.
It may not be. She may have a condition. She may not want to show her.
Oh
hair.
shit!
There could be a lot of things.
Oh no, you are not.
So I'm not gonna
keep going.
I'm not gonna
keep
say
going.
what it is.
Keep going.
She doesn't feel comfortable enough to show him her hair. So if that doesn't work for him, then he shouldn't be with her. But he shouldn't be forcing her to do that. To the point he's making her cry. I don't know.
So if she has a condition that she cannot control, and she is embarrassed to show him, even though he is actually asking,
don't
she
try to tie this back
it.
to the micropenis.
She shouldn't have to do it.
Don't try to tie this back to the micropenis.
What are you talking about?
Don't try to tie it back to the micropenis.
But do you not see what you're saying?
I already knew where you were coming with this.
She might have a condition. I already knew when
you shut the laptop where this was going.
She might have a condition.
She might not. She just might not want to show him.
But let's go with your deluluness. She might have a condition that she does not have to share with him. Why? How is that different?
It's different.
How is that different?
It is hair on her head. He ain't got nothing to do with the hair on her head. The penis has something to do with the sexual relations. Yes. Thank you. You're going to be back in jail. Go ahead. Go ahead and say something. Go ahead and say something.
How is this different?
One is for appearance, and the other is actually affects the other person.
How does it affect the other person?
Huh?
How does it affect the other person?
She said she worked with what she had.
Okay, how does it affect the other person?
Because he may not be able to please
her. If it's her choice not to be attracted to it, that's on her. You just said that shit.
It's attraction and actually doing and feeling something is something totally different.
What can he do about that?
Huh?
What can he do about that? What is he supposed to do about being a little dick man? What can he do?
But that is something they would have to work on together.
Her hair is something.
No.
So if she has a condition,
that is how they appear.
He didn't say all this, but let's say this man wants to marry her. He wants to have a future with her. He doesn't have the right to know about her condition.
Of course,
we don't know that she has a condition, but you said that
could be a
possible.
Possibility.
He shouldn't know anything.
No, I didn't say that. I said she doesn't feel comfortable to showing him.
Depending on how he is asking. I think that matters.
I do too.
But let's assume for a moment he is kind, he is empathetic, and he's just like, honey, it's been years that I haven't seen your hair. Mm-hmm. Short of any cultural or religious reasons, like, what are we, like, why? Why does he not get to do that?
He can do that. She doesn't feel comfortable showing it.
And you don't think that's a problem?
I didn't say it's not. I told her to
No,
break
what
up.
you said was maybe you haven't earned that yet.
Maybe you haven't.
Okay, well then the other lady didn't earn to know that he was a little dick motherfucker.
I told you from the very beginning, the only part of the whole story
he lied.
Is that he said that if he told her, so he withheld it for a reason.
She's withholding it for a reason.
No, Robert, you cannot. You're going to be in jail.
I'm not going to be in jail.
Go for him. Classmates,
I'm not going to be in jail.
you know what to do.
I'm not going to be in jail. They
know what to do.
They know I'm grieving.
You know what to do.
They know I'm grieving.
Oh, so
don't
so
send
now,
people after. Don't send
so
people.
now,
Why
so
you?
now,
Why you know
so
what? Don't send people after your husband.
Now you're oh my gosh.
I'm
Anyhow,
grieving.
back to this guy.
I'm not grieving now.
Back to this guy about this whole thing, because you didn't even read the title of the email.
The title of the email is Barbie.
Right.
You read the email. Why would I have to read the title?
Well,
see, you're being combative for no reason.
That guy got me a little upset.
You about to be in jail.
I'm not going to be in jail.
Okay.
With this whole thing about
Remember
Barbie.
that first part. The first part is going in.
Huh?
Okay. You forgot. They haven't forgotten.
What part?
Okay.
I don't care about any of that.
See?
What I'm saying is that this whole Barbie email, you need to quit thinking about you so much.
I agree.
This is what she wants to do with her. And if that's not compatible with you, then that means it doesn't work. That's it.
I agree.
And if she want to put on full dress, full makeup, and heels to whatever y'all going to do, that's how she feels comfortable in what she's wearing. That's who she is.
And if you're not comfortable being shamed about your micro issues, that's how you are, and it's okay.
Well,
we're saying the same thing.
No.
I don't see.
You should disclose that before you got married. Sorry. They didn't say they're married. He said he'd been with her for 2 years.
He didn't say 2 years. He said a few years. Okay. And by the way, it's a lot of hand stuff going on.
I don't care.
Okay. I told you things about to change. I done told you.
Don't let these people. You let these people think so. You couldn't even do that with a straight face. Oh boy.
Guys, we don't mind telling you things, but some things it would just take too long for you to know the whole story.
Yes.
We do, believe it or not, we do have a whole life outside of this.
We'll give you guys a sneak peek.
Okay. All right. Am I the asshole for spazzing out on my girlfriend after she conveniently forgot to add details about a past lover? I, 39-year-old male, am currently dating my 32-year-old female for 2 months, officially. Been getting to know each other for 8 months prior to us officially dating. I'm currently in the process of retiring from the Navy after 21 years of service, and the transition hasn't been as easy as most people would think. So with this being said, I confided in my girlfriend when I'm having a rough day and vice versa. On this day, my girlfriend informed me that she's back in contact with a previous lover because they work together, and he's currently making her feel uncomfortable with looks and under his breath comments. As I listen to her go into details about why she wants to be cordial with him, my ears get warm to a couple of key comments he made towards her. Quote, "I can't see you with him." Quote, "I can't believe you moved on so fast." And quote, "I can't be around you when me, is around because you look so happy." So I asked a typical yo, what the F that's supposed to mean, and what happened between y'all that he has this kind of feelings towards us as a couple. Backstory time. He is 34 and currently going through a color purple, you sure is ugly divorce.
Ooh. Wow. You sure
Y'all have
ugly.
descriptors.
I like this.
A color purple, you sure is ugly divorce. And him and my current girlfriend have engaged in some late night, early morning bonding. This I knew up front. She told me the reason she broke it off was because one night he was banging on her window at 3 a.m. in the morning trying to get his Elmo tickled. And that freaked her out. They never went on dates and they had sex less than a handful of times. And she rode on the back of his motorcycle once. So with that information, I believed her because I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Back to now time. As I ask these questions, all she can say is, "I forgot and I don't remember," and so on. So I, not so politely, but not overly rude in my dad voice, asked, "So why does this man have these types of feelings if it was just a friendly shaboing boing?" Then she goes into how they used to cuddle, slow dance, talks, texting all night, saying, "I miss you," sipping wine, and watch football and just chilling. I instantly gave her that look you give when someone takes your food off your plate without asking. And with the prettiest smile and a pout that would challenge any man, had the balls to say, "I didn't think that was important to tell you. It meant nothing to me, so I forgot it." I instantly was pissed. So then I said, hey, babe, can you give me 10 minutes so I can calm down? Because I'm not going to cuss at you, raise my voice at you, or disrespect you in any manner. Because I know me, and I know that's what's going to happen next.
Wow.
This is the part where things get wicked.
Uh-oh.
Shout out Zevi. He wrote shout out Zevi. So you a real one. Here's where it gets wicked. She's like, no, address it now since you're making me feel like I did something wrong.
Okay.
So not only did I cuss like the sailor I am, I raised my voice and said some diabolical things.
All right.
That I was feeling, but I ended up hurting her feelings and she started to cry. So I did the worst thing you could do in that situation. I laughed. So I said, you telling me you fucking talking to every day, chilling, cuddling, and so on to a man about to lose half his shit and ain't got a pot to piss in or nothing warm to lay. He is vulnerable in every way possible, and you gave him intimacy, and you want to be cordial with him because you uncomfortable?
Ooh.
And now you crying?
Damn.
But when I ask you for some time to calm down, you want to yell at me?
Ooh.
Girl, kick rock with
Ooh.
Jesus sandals. That's hard.
That's hardcore.
That's hard.
Kick the rocks with Jesus sandals.
Girl, kick rocks with Jesus sandals.
Damn.
Well, they teach some shit in the Navy.
Woo.
That's hard.
That's hardcore.
I told her I lost trust in her and I will dead this whole relationship if you can't give me the time to calm down because I refuse to tap into this person ever again.
Ooh.
The night passes, I do calm down, and the next day she wants to talk about what was said. So now in her eyes, I'm wrong for cussing at her, blowing the situation out of proportion and casually saying that I would end the relationship because I got mad at something she quote unquote forgot. I'm not confused on if I'm wrong or right. I know she's not currently selling hopes and dreams to this man because he is in his feelings also. And with the new details, it makes sense on what was said. I just want to know, am I the asshole because I spazzed out when I could have taken a softer manner to address the situation? It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Wow.
That's a doozy.
Well, first, thank you for all your services. I love that. But I don't know. I'm on the fence about this because I think he could have delivered the message better. But he came with that caveat. He said, hey, I know me. I'm trying to have some restraint. Give me a moment. And she kind of kept pushing. So she bought a ticket to the show she got.
I never heard that before. She bought a ticket to the show she got?
Yeah.
I never heard that one before. This episode, bitch, I'm thirsty. Girl, kick rocks with Jesus sandals. You bought a ticket to the show you got. Well, I'm gonna be a spicy person. I'm gonna be sassy after this.
I'm just saying. I kind of. He tried to have restraint. He recognized where it was going. That's very adult.
She said, "No, address it now."
And he addressed it. He gave her 100%.
So is he an asshole for the way he handled it?
No, that's how he really felt.
I would like to say something.
Okay.
Honesty is important.
Yeah.
But I do not understand why people ask people about their sexual history, knowing that A, the person's lying, B, you're going to be mad. Says she only fucked about 4 or 5. So you know you got to multiply by 3.
Yep.
So she told you she had sex, but you're mad that she was like cuddling?
Well, no. I think that's different. So I think he understood.
That's more intimate than he thought?
Correct. Like if it's just y'all just fuck buddies, that's different.
Oh yeah, tell me more.
But this was like they had like they had like other.
It's cool. No, it's cool. Tell me more. Tell me more.
They had other intimates. They were intimate together. It wasn't just fuck buddies. That's different. So
I don't even sound right coming out your mouth. I don't even sound right. It really don't sound right. It's problematic. You better raise some. Here's where it's about to get wicked.
So that is a difference. That is a difference.
But so he's been getting to know her for 8 months. They've been dating for 2 months.
I don't see. That's the part where I don't know at what time are you to get into that. But then she's also only giving tidbits of the story, and then that whole playing games with I forgot and all that. See, that's the part.
Okay, but what's she supposed to say?
Well,
I don't want to put this all on him, but typically,
Yeah.
men cannot handle this kind of shit.
fair.
For the most part, no man's gonna be like, "Oh, cool, oh yeah."
But she also is like telling him all the stuff that I can't see you around with him so happy and all this. So I mean, like he didn't get down his own.
You're right.
So that's what I'm saying.
You're
you
right.
can't be in or out. Like if you're gonna be out, be out. But if you're gonna be in, you be all the way in and tell them all the stuff. Then
she's supposed to say, "Oh yeah, we slow danced those 3 times." Like what?
No, y'all had it was like a relationship.
She said it wasn't. But then that's also okay. You making that face? I don't play no games. These are the games that the people play.
That's what people pay. That's what I'm.
People.
That's the
Listen.
problem.
People will live together.
Yeah.
Have kids together.
Yeah.
Get legally married.
Yeah. Buy a house.
Do all that.
Yeah.
We not serious though. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
You ever seen that TikTok thing where the woman says, "Oh, where can I meet a man like you? Right here, girl. I cheat." That's hilarious, but it's terrible.
It's reality though, and that's the part where you like I can't see half the half. So, like I see all the sides of it, but I don't really think he's an asshole because he tried, and she wanted to keep going, so she got what she got. That's real life, and those are real thoughts. So she got to see the real him. She still want to stick around after all that. Then that's true. That's real.
He's not an asshole because he did ask for a moment to calm down.
He did. That's what I'm saying.
I do question the expectation that her full history.
I question where this gonna go.
I mean, it's been 2 months. Who knows?
All right.
Who knows?
You're right. You're right.
Who knows?
Well, because she did call back after he made her cry. Because then that's like when people all that bark.
Look, she on
you can
bullshit.
do all that bark talking about, no, talk to me now. Talk to me now. I talk to you.
Yeah. I know it well. I know it well. I know it all too well. But you know what I'm gonna say from now on?
What?
You bought a ticket to the show. You got it. You bought that ticket. This the show. That's what I'm gonna say from now on.
That's it. I tried to get you to go over here and look at the Disney thing. You know, you want to come straight up here for it. You got it.
Oh, it's gonna be
American Gangster.
It's gonna be a spicy 2025. Open relationship question. Long.
Okay.
Low key, we're like the poly / open relationship / swinger.
I'm glad there's a
podcast,
safe space for them.
which is wild because we're hella vanilla. Like, never in my life. We support anyone to be who they are.
Right.
But never in my life.
Well, we just create a safe space for that.
One day we're going to get an
Love
email.
that.
Hey, would you guys like to
Never.
get to... No. Don't do it.
Never.
Don't do
Never
it.
going to happen.
Never going to get it. 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 Am I the asshole for getting mad at my husband for making a dating profile? We have a partially open relationship.
Mm-hmm.
My 38-year-old female husband, 58-year-old male, and I have been married for 7 years. We only dated for 10 months, then eloped because we were madly in love. He is a software engineer and is on the spectrum. We had 2 great years of marriage. Then the pandemic happened and things got really hard. Just an overview of our issues. He wouldn't speak up when people were working in our home, were blatantly racist, would often agree to a plan, then would do whatever he wanted regardless of our agreement. Didn't want to go on dates or vacations, plus a lot more. Additionally, I'm sure I'm not perfect and would regularly ask how I can be a better partner for him, but he wouldn't ever engage. We've been in therapy since 2020, but in 2022, I asked for an open relationship. It was a struggle to get him to take therapy seriously, communicate how he's feeling, or what he needs from me to be his best partner, and flat out said he felt like the problems that I have in our relationship are my problems, so I'm the only one who needs therapy. During one relationship check-in that I initiated saying I needed more physical connection, not even necessarily sex, he responded by saying he thinks he's mostly asexual and doesn't need sex to be happy in a relationship.
Oh.
This was news to me since we started our relationship as friends with benefits. We went on for another year with me trying everything I could think of to nurture our relationship, but it seemed like the more I did and tried, the worse it got. At peak badness, I had to cancel about 6 months of contracts because of emotional distress. I'm self-employed. I am and always have been plus size. When things started going bad, I would try to initiate cute conversations to reminisce and remember why we started dating. Once I asked, what was the first thing you noticed about me when we went on our first date? His response, how big you are.
Ooh.
He often says things like this and has been chipping away at my confidence and self-worth, but what really broke my spirit was the morning of our 4th anniversary. I had a bunch of thoughtful gifts, and all he had to say was, oh yeah, I saw it was our anniversary, but I decided to ignore it. A few months later, I explained to him that sex is very important to me, as I'm not asexual, and I'm in my 30s, and I would like to have my side of the relationship be open. I explained that I still want to work on our relationship, but would let him take the lead, and we can work on it as little or as much as he would like. We further agreed that if he was ever feeling like he would like to spend time with someone else, we would have a conversation about it because I hope he'd instead choose to work on our relationship and spend time together. Approximately every 6 months, I've initiated check-ins about our relationship status and see if he needs something different from our agreement. We've made some adjustments along the way for him to be more comfortable. And every time I would ask if he's feeling like he'd like to see someone else, and every time he has said no. Additionally, he didn't initiate any work/therapy/conversations about or to repair our relationship, and also didn't initiate any dates, but would sometimes try to initiate physical closeness, which I'm no longer open to. One adjustment he requested was that he meet whoever I'm spending time with. Since we live in a very progressive and sexually open city in Europe, this hasn't been a big deal. I recently had to spend some extended time with family to take care of family drama, and he spent his vacation helping me. During this trip, he asked to meet my friend I was spending time with, and we met him for coffee. It wasn't anything weird, it just happened. I asked husband how he felt about it, and he acted very nonchalant about it, and I initiated a check-in shortly after to see if he's still okay with the arrangement or if he needed anything to change. He said it was all fine. I asked my standard questions of if he's feeling like he'd like to see someone else, and he assured me no. I thought the trip was a good sign for our relationship, that he was finally taking interest in what was going on with me in terms of helping with my family drama. He went home while I stayed to deal with family for another month, and the next day I got a notification that he joined Telegram. I have all of the messaging apps for work as I'm a freelancer and everyone has different preferences for which app to communicate on. I asked him why he joined as he doesn't have any friends and the only people he talks to are his mom and coworkers. At first, he didn't want to say, but with some prodding, he said he joined a dating site and someone he talked to asked him to download it. I was, of course, furious, as this was not what we agreed to, and we had just had a check-in where I asked if he was feeling like he wanted to see anyone, and he said no. When I brought up this wasn't what we agreed to, he said he forgot what our agreement was and didn't see why I should be upset. Additionally, he shared his profile with me, which was on a fetish site. It was very sexual, and it said he's bisexual.
Oh.
No problem with that, only that he's never mentioned it. His messages and comments were to both men and women, and were so far from the person I know, I was truly shocked. Am I the asshole for feeling betrayed?
Wow. That was a lot to take inside of her.
You're not the asshole for feeling betrayed. There is a betrayal. The issue that I think is he's on the spectrum, and a lot of what he's doing is not atypical for someone on the spectrum.
Right.
See what I did there? Atypical.
I got it. 100%. Yeah.
For example, him saying, you said, what's the first thing you noticed? He said, how big you are. He might love how big you are.
Correct. He didn't say that it was like a bad, it wasn't like just like a bad negative thing for it.
I don't know your level of experience with people on the spectrum, and everyone, it's a spectrum. You know, technically we're all on the spectrum.
It's also not an excuse to be an asshole either.
No, it's not.
Right.
But was he being an asshole or was he being honest?
That's what I'm saying. That's all.
Oftentimes, some of the typical things you will see is just this straightforwardness.
Right.
They have no negative intention.
Call it how I see it. Yeah.
But the first thing I noticed was how big you are.
Correct.
He might not have the social cues to say your eyes or, you know, all the lies that men say. No, he noticed how big you are. Is that bad?
He may love it.
He may love it.
Correct.
That may be the thing he finds most attractive. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that's what he noticed.
Right.
It's kind of like you bought the ticket for the show you got. You asked a question, he answered. Now, this is obviously us reading into it, so it's not like I don't know if he was being a dick or not.
Right.
But a lot of this, with him thinking he's asexual, maybe he is, maybe he isn't.
Maybe he's confused. Maybe he's trying to experiment.
Asexual actually doesn't mean the absence of sex.
Right.
It's more about the preference or need of sex. I know a lot of people think it's only, I don't have sex. It's not exactly what asexual is. I'm no expert, so I don't want to go too far, but the gray flag is a little varied. There's a spectrum in that too. So also sexuality also tends to be on the spectrum, and what you are today doesn't dictate what you are tomorrow. Maybe at the time of the agreement, he did feel he was asexual. Maybe now he is bisexual. It sounds like you're trying to make this relationship, but I don't know if you understand everything you're trying to make a relationship with. So for example, you frequently initiating conversations, asking how you can be a better partner. He might not have the language. And I'm not just saying that because he's on the spectrum. This could be anyone.
Anybody.
Might not have the language to say how you can be a better partner.
He might just think, well, this is
how it
okay.
is.
So yeah, that's cool.
I'm not miserable, so this must be how it is. Like,
it's kind of like if you marry someone, right? And they're like, I'm hungry. And you say, well, what do you want? And they say, I don't know. And what they really want you to do is to just keep giving suggestions so that they can say no, swat everything away, and then just say the thing that they want in the first place.
see?
But as I said, shit gonna change. We don't play those games. I haven't played those games like 2 years. So
You just go get it.
okay. I might just go get it.
I like it.
All that back and forth shit, I'm not doing no more.
I like that.
I stopped that shit 2-3 years ago. I don't do that shit no more. Or you can eat nothing, ma'am. There's food here. What do you want?
Why you gonna eat nothing?
Okay. Then I guess you better say what you want then. Okay. Hey, you gonna get it. You gonna get it. I got to teach you.
You gonna get it too.
Oh, I can't wait to. I love that kind of talk. I love that.
I already knew that was gonna be your response.
You set it up, I knock it down. Literally. So we are gonna take a brief intermission because that battery is for sure about to die.
It's our year anniversary. We can do whatever we want.
But before you click that button, click that other button. Give us that 5-star review. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Send this to your next 500 friends.
500.
Yeah. Or 1,000. I don't want to limit you. Send it to
everybody.
Send it to as many thousands of people as you like to. Because we are going to get these numbers up. Let's keep it going. What's this next story about?
Am I the asshole? I ended it for not knowing. Hello, Ask the Black Kids. Thank you for reading my email. I love your podcast and comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
After hearing a post on the Wedding Chaos episode, I decided to tell my story. Sorry, it is long. Both of us, I am female, he's male, are in our mid-50s. We dated long distance off and on for about 2 years. I've known him for over 20 years because we once worked at the same place. We were not coworkers or even friends. Some years after I left that job, we bumped into each other and began a friendship via cell phone, which lasted 5 or 6 years before he asked me out on a date.
Woohoo.
I liked him a great deal by then and felt the feelings were mutual. A couple of months in, he gave me a key to his place. We often visited each other, traveled a few times a year, and I knew his close family members. He has an adult child and has been divorced more than once. I'm divorced once, no kids. He is kind and hardworking, nurturing, and intelligent. After 5 years of dating, I asked him why we were never intimate. He may react if I initiated non-sexual touching and closeness. We slept in the same bed, shared hugs and kisses to greet each other, and we talked about everything under the sun. But we never talked about sex or where this relationship was going. His response was he was planning a special occasion for our first time. Well, that appeased me for a while. I liked the idea of waiting to have sex. It made me like him even more for his values. Furthermore, I was excited to date a man with self-control. Although he never planned that getaway just for us, we traveled with other couples year-round. Side note, I always thanked him for the vacations, and then I'd treat him to a game or a concert when he came to visit me. He had a death in the family around the time I planned to bring up the subject of intimacy again. By now, we've been together a year and a half. Instead, I gave him space to grieve and be with his family. About 6 months later, I asked him if I was merely a +1 for him. He had been a no-show when my friends and I were visiting his city. He knew them too, and they asked about him. He didn't confirm. Of course, I wanted to spend time with him, but I left town without contacting him again. That incident did not sit well with me. Now, I'm upset. Second-guessing myself and paranoid over a man I came to realize I didn't really know. When I asked him if he was seeing and having sex with anyone else, he denied it and gave the usual pat response, "I'm working. I haven't been myself lately." I'm an empathetic person. I love my friend. I was understanding, patient, but quite confused. Is that all he's ever going to say about us? Oh, everything's fine. Yes, we're together. I had a clinical procedure and scheduled with him to transport me. He'd been available before to drive me places, but this time he forgot to say the date. The day before my scheduled appointment, I had to make other arrangements or risk short notice cancellation. Having to do that upset me and stressed me out when I was so nervous about the surgery. He would often make me feel safe, and he should have been there again for me. I ended it for not knowing what else to do. to engage him in an adult conversation about our relationship. I didn't know his truth or experience with his non-sexual affection. I didn't know if he was gay or not attracted to me sexually. I didn't know if he trusted me with his secrets, if he had any. I didn't know if we dated with purpose or just for fun. I miss him, but I'm not sure who he is. Am I the asshole because I ended it for not knowing what else to do to find out? Thanks again for reading.
P.S. I forgot to add that I thought maybe he could have ED or something like that.
It kind of seems that he wasn't what you needed. So you ended it. I don't think that's an asshole move at all.
That's it?
That's how I feel. You missing because, people think about all the good times, but it seems like the bad times were outweighing the good times.
I don't think they had any bad times. I just don't know if they had any real times.
Well, that's fair.
Her efforts to engage him in intimate conversation, like actually getting to know someone.
Yeah, he wasn't there for that.
He rebuffed.
Yeah.
He had no interest in that.
That's the compatibility issue.
So I would say his action or lack thereof was the communication, and you actually paid attention.
Yeah. Because
it's not just about the sex, but it's like you don't even really know what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys in a relationship? You don't really know, and you're not feeling comfortable. You're bringing it up.
Are you the other woman? Is there another woman? Is there another man? Like, you don't even know what's going on.
It's even more than that. Like, she just doesn't know.
No. I don't think you're an asshole. I can understand the missing, loneliness, or lack of something that you thought was going to be something, but nope, I don't think you're an asshole.
I don't think so.
I don't think so at all.
I think you paid attention to the signs.
I think you paid attention. I say give yourself grace for handling the situation to the best of your ability. I think you did what you need to do for your peace. And I wish you luck there. Thanks for writing in. Okay.
This one's titled My Toxic Confession Story.
Ooh, I like so toxic.
On the podcast. Don't bring that shit around here. Hi, to start, I love you both and your channel. Discovered y'all on YouTube Shorts and will usually listen on Spotify on my way home from work. You can call me E.
Hey,
what up, though, E? From about 18 to 23, I found myself in the stupidest situations. I wasn't allowed to do anything in my teens, so I was wilding out once I became an adult. Here's one of the stupidest situations from when I was 21. Please be aware, this story is a doozy.
Okay.
Here we go. September of 2019. I landed a new job at an event planning company. I was 20, still living at home, and in a toxic relationship with the guy who took my V card. About a month after I started, I knew my relationship was over and told my coworkers, let's call him Eric, I'm probably going to break up with my boyfriend this weekend. And I did. The next time I saw Eric, he asked if I did it, and I told him yes. Eric must have been plotting, because about a week later, he asked if I wanted to come over. Mm-hmm. We ended up having sex. And then Eric ghosted me shortly after. It was easy for him to do that since the job allowed for us to help out in other departments. So for a while, I didn't see Eric again. Eventually, I found myself becoming close to another coworker, let's call her Gia, who also was Eric's older sister. Oh. I never told her about Eric and I because I figured it was our business to keep between us. Gia was also close to another coworker, let's call him Jay. Over time, me, Gia, and Jay were always hanging out. Gia took some time off work, which left Jay and I to handle events together. Him and I started talking a lot and was eventually hooking up. We agreed to keep it between us. After a few months of Jay and I hooking up, he confessed to me that he and Gia had a situationship. Oh. I was pissed because why the F would you bring me into this? We decided to never tell Gia and stop hooking up.
Okay.
Well, guess what?
What?
Gia found out she was pregnant.
Of course.
The only issue was that she was pretty sure the baby belonged to her other baby daddy and not Jay. Gia wanted to get an abortion, but Jay was like, I don't care who the father is. I want to be with you and have a family, blah, blah. So from there, Jay and Gia was officially dating, and I was the supportive friend. Please note that at this time, Gia is living rent-free in the house of her other baby daddy.
Wow.
And Jay lives at home with his mom.
Wow.
So for a few weeks, all is good. Secret is kept. Eric is still gone. Jay and Gia seem to be happy. It's now February 2020. One night, we're all at Gia's house, or baby daddy's house, watching a movie when Gia's baby daddy busts through the door with his parents and instantly starts swinging on Jay.
Oh.
My instinct was to grab Gia's daughter and run outside and prevent her from being accidentally hit.
Right.
I'm outside with the baby. I'm outside when the baby daddy's mom comes tell me to come inside. It was a cold night for the South. I walk inside to see the baby daddy got Jay pinned down and Gia standing in the corner shocked. I took the daughter to her bedroom, and after a few minutes, the baby daddy comes and gets her from me.
Uh-oh.
I go outside to find the baby daddy's mom and Gia outside about to fight. My stupid ass was ready to defend Gia when the baby daddy's stepdad told me not to do that.
That's right.
I'm glad I listened because your girl can't fight.
That's it.
After a few minutes of them going back and forth, Jay, Gia, and I got into Gia's car and drove away. Mind you, I came to her house in my own car, so now I'm stuck in the back seat while Jay and Gia are talking. It felt like forever before they realized that I was still there and took me back to my car. Mm-hmm. The next day, I didn't give a F about what was happening because I was going out of town to a concert with my best friend. A few weeks go by. Things are still tense between Gia and Jay, but they are roughing it out, I guess. Gia is still living at the house with her baby daddy.
Damn.
Now, in March 2020, I get to work one morning and receive a text from Gia saying, "Were you sleeping with Jay?" My heart drops. How did she find out, you ask? Well, Gia went to the doctor, remember she's pregnant, and was told she tested positive for an STI. When she confronted Jay, he said he must have gotten it from me. I apologized so much to Gia and told her that it was him who didn't want to tell her. It was me too. Jay is now going off on me for trying to throw him under the bus, and I'm gaslighting him to make him believe that I always wanted to tell Gia about us. Jay doesn't come back to the job, and now I'm tiptoeing around Gia at work, avoiding her at all costs. I got my medication to cure the STI, not even completely sure that I had it. I mean, if they gave you the medication, whatever.
I don't know.
Gia starts slowly talking to me again, telling me that she's not mad at me because I'm a new friend and that Jay has known her for years, so he should have known better. Mm-hmm. Jay is now telling Gia that he doesn't want the baby anymore and says that she has to get an abortion to continue to be with him. Originally, Gia was like, "No, I want this baby more than I want him." About a week later, Gia scheduled the abortion and got it done. She was 5 months along. She told me how it had to be done, and I was so hurt that she chose a man over her baby.
Wow.
What saved me from the whole situation was COVID causing the business to be temporarily shut down by April 2020. I stopped talking to Gia, and Jay got blocked. May 2020 comes, and I move out. One good fight at home made me pack my bags and leave. My best friend's parents allowed me to move in with them with strict rules because of COVID and helped me get an apartment by the end of July. I'm now 21. I still had a bunch of stuff to get from my guardian's house. Gia had reached out to me a few days before it was time for me to move in, and when I told her I left home, she offered to help to move because she still had access to the work vans. I accepted, thinking that her and I could possibly try again to be friends. Gia also tells me that her and Jay no longer talk. Okay. And in my head, I'm like, damn, you gave up your baby for him? Gia must have updated Eric about me because he added me on Snapchat a few weeks ago. I had moved in late August 2020. He messaged me saying congrats on the new place and he wanted to treat me to a drink. By this time, I had settled into my new apartment and found a job at the local grocery store. Remember, Eric is Gia's brother.
I got that.
Okay, just making sure we're all still there. I accepted Eric's offer, curious on why he ghosted me. Eric came over, we went out for drinks at a local bar, and then had sex.
Of course.
This time, he didn't ghost me, but actually expressed that he always liked me, but was caught up with his baby mama.
Oh, Lord.
I, being stupid AF, decided to keep talking to him.
Damn.
Well, guess what? One morning, I get a text from Gia saying, "Are you sleeping with my brother?"
Damn.
I'm confused on why the F she would ask me that. I responded, "Why?" The next text made me see red. Gia responds, "His girl went through his phone and saw y'all texting." Pissed was an understatement. So what did I do next? I blocked Gia and Eric on anything I could find them on.
Okay.
I was done being a part of this chaos. I didn't even give Eric a chance to know why he was blocked.
Yep. That's it?
However, I wish I could say that was it.
Look at that. I knew it couldn't be then. It says toxic confession. Come on, give me
Let's
some.
fast forward to December 2020. I am now in school, working 2 jobs at the mall and a bar, and got a cat.
Okay.
Life is okay, and I was content. Please note that the job at the mall so happened to be the same mall Eric had a job at. Different stores, and his store was far away from mine.
I had literally only ran into Eric once at the mall when we were both at Starbucks, and I rolled my eyes at him and walked away without a word. What do you think she got to drink at Starbucks? What do you think?
I'm gonna say this sounds like a frappuccino kind
Let
of
us know.
thing. Yeah,
Let us
extra
know.
whipped cream, caramel drizzle.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure on the drizzle, though.
Yeah.
I feel that one.
Yeah, I feel that.
After a shift at the bar, I got home around 3 a.m., showered, and laid in bed scrolling IG. Right as my eyes were really getting heavy, I got a text. I'm like, who the F is texting me this late? Unknown number reads, can you leave him alone? I'm like, the F? Who? I'm not even talking to anyone right now. Me. Who? Unknown number. Eric. Now I'm like, the F? This must be Gia thinking I still got something going on with him. Me. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't talked to Eric in months. Unknown number. Good. Just stay away from him. This is the mother of his child. I don't need you messing up anything.
Oh.
Me. Why the F are you messaging me? If Eric is being sneaky or something, it's not with me.
Correct.
Eric BM. He said your name in his sleep, and I wanted to make sure y'all had nothing else going on. I don't want him, but I don't want anyone else to have him. What the fuck? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Me. Is this B being serious? Me. I work in the same mall as him. How about you come tomorrow so I can beat your ass for playing on my phone? Her. No need. Just stay away from him, and we won't have any issues. Now I can't sleep because I'm so hyped up. So I decide that I'm going to have to pay Eric a visit at his job. The next morning, the lack of sleep didn't bother me because I'm fueled off adrenaline. As soon as my lunch break comes, I run over to Eric's store. I wasn't even sure if he was working there still. But guess what? As I'm marching into the store, Eric is coming out. He sees me and looks shocked. I asked, you got a moment? He tells me he's on lunch break. And I'm like, perfect. I start going off on Eric about his baby mama. I tell him that he needs to get her in check before I do and to not be playing on my phone. Eric reads the messages and says, what is she talking about? I spent the night at my mom's house and my baby mama was at Gia's. We're not even together. We've been broken up since before I last saw you. I then asked, if y'all aren't together, how did she go through your phone and see our messages?
Yep.
Gia messaged me asking if I was sleeping with you and that your girl saw the messages. That's why I stopped talking to you. At this point, Eric looks confused AF. It had to be when I came over to see the kids, but I wasn't cheating on her with you. We haven't been together, I promise. Why didn't you tell me? I was hurt when you stopped talking to me. At this point, I don't know what to believe, and I was over Eric, his baby mama, and Gia. But just to mentally prove to the baby mama that this man doesn't want to be left alone, I unblocked Eric. What I know about Eric is that he will mostly reach out to apologize.
No.
What the baby mama didn't understand is that I don't want to be with Eric either. And guess what? I received a text from Eric a few days later asking if he could come over to apologize. And he apologized all night. After that, I stopped talking to him. He then pursued me again like a year later, but I was like, nah. But I'm glad to say that I'm now 25, happily single, and avoiding shenanigans. I think I tired myself out during those few years of wilding because I barely leave my house now and enjoy watching baking shows.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed this toxic confession. I have way more to share. Please share.
Please share. Please share. That was a good little roundabout there. That was definitely toxic confession. But I'm glad you've matured. Some
and we got
people
another
never get out of
email
there.
shortly after that. Just to add on, while I was only 20 and 21, Eric, Gia, and Jay were in their late 20s, close to being 30, just in case this adds perspective. She's saying she was just a child.
She was just learning. She was going through,
These people been with the shits.
They stayed with the shits. She outgrew it.
The shits.
I'm glad you outgrew it.
Baby mamas, baby daddies, and STIs.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
You got the baby mama. No, the baby daddy mama involved. The poor little kid. You know, I feel bad about the kid.
The baby mama,
I feel bad about the kid.
The
The
baby
other
daddy
kid.
mama. The baby daddy
Nicole.
mama. The baby Bobby.
Gosh,
Ooh, my goodness.
My gosh. She said, come through.
I have one question. I have one
Come
question.
through. She was selling tickets.
I have one question.
Come through.
When you said, why don't you come meet me so I can beat your ass? You know earlier you told us you can't fight, right? Why are you inviting that kind of pressure into your life?
She was selling tickets.
Okay.
She was selling tickets. She said,
Use the phone.
she said, come through.
And the reason I want the phone is because one of your little friends
sent something to you.
One of my friends?
One of your little friends.
Okay.
One of your little troublemaking friends.
My troublemaking friends?
One of your little troublemaking classmate friends sent something to you.
Okay.
The title of this email is Chestnut. But this shit is okay. Good afternoon. Mrs. Sawyer, did you see this?
What did I see? Let's see.
Here.
Oh, what's this? Let's see. Ooh. Oh, what's that?
Oh my God.
Oh, this with all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I like that. I should buy this some Christmas gifts. I don't drink, but
Well, honey,
but friend,
you saw it. You got to tell them what it is.
oh, so it was. It looks like some kind of like bottled alcohol with him, Tay Diggs. It went by too fast for me to see all that it was, but I love that kind of stuff. So that sounds like a really good Christmas gift that I'll be gifting to others. People, black gifts, independent, businesses.
No, I don't know. You've done a terrible job of explaining.
Oh, I haven't done. My friend knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and the classmates understand Mrs. Sawyer speak, so it's okay.
Good for them.
Good for them. Thanks for enlightening me that. I did not know that. Now I must do some more research. Research.
Time after time. Again and again and again. You try to pit me against the good brother Morris Chestnut. I don't have a problem with Morris Chestnut.
I know you don't.
He's a good looking guy.
He is.
I'm not mad at that.
I know you wouldn't be, honey.
Okay.
I understand that you're comfortable in everything you stand by, and with me, you don't know what to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
But I must do some research.
Okay. I can do some research too.
Research away.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You requested. All right. Ask the Black Kids Story is the title of this next email. Hi, my name is Paige. I have been a fan of Only Black Kids for a long time.
Okay. Hey, Paige.
I just love listening to your podcast when I'm having such a long day. So thank y'all and keep going. I think we're going to keep going.
I think so.
Okay. Now on to my story. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that she is not allowed to send my sperm donor pictures of my child?
My sperm donor pictures of my child. Okay, let's go.
I, 27-year-old female, and my sister, 24-year-old female, are generally close. We have the same bio dad, but different moms, so we didn't grow up at the same house at all. Mm-hmm. My bio dad was in and out of her life while he just wasn't in mine at all. I have an amazing stepdad who has been in my life since I was 4, so I didn't go without. Unfortunately, my sister did. My sperm donor and I reconnected when I was 16, and everything was great until I turned 23. When I was in my last year of college, I had something traumatic happen to me, and my sperm donor decided he was going to tell everyone that would listen what happened to me.
Oh.
While he ended up telling so many people, it got back to me, and I was livid. So I tried to confront him about it, and long story short, he said he didn't care about how it made me feel, so I cut him off completely, and I haven't talked to him since. Now, fast forward, I'm 27 and married to my college sweetheart. We just had our first child, a boy, about 8 months ago. Now on to where I may be the asshole. My sister called me to tell me that she had spoken with our father and that she sent him pictures of the boys just to show him what he is missing out on because he's not there for her 2 boys, age 5 and 3. I said, oh, okay. And then she proceeded to say, and I also sent him pictures of my child. So she's talking about her son. I instantly went from mad to what in the world were you thinking? Then I felt bad because all she wanted was to show our father the legacy he's missing out on. I took a deep breath and said, I understand what your intentions were, but don't ever do that again.
Okay.
I know you just want him to love you and be there for you, but do not throw my son in the middle of your issues with him. Mm-hmm. I would also like to point out he will never meet my son for this reason right here, because he didn't even care that he got those pictures from her. Nor does he care about our kids. I love her, but honestly, I'm kind of mad at her. I also know I can't be super mad because all she wants is our father to love her, and I am so past that point in my life, it's not even funny. So am I the asshole?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And I appreciate the grace you've given your sister and understanding why. Though I talk about being intentional a lot, intention isn't the only thing that matters. Your actions matter too. So the action she took was wrong, though her intentions might have been good. And I'm happy to hear that you were able to make the distinction.
Yep.
Like you understood she wasn't being malicious, but
Right.
keep you out of that. Keep you, your son, your family, keep you out of any bullshit with him.
Yeah.
I think you're just stating what is acceptable in your life. And I think your sister, you know, how you described how you guys are close, I think she'll be amicable to that. And I hope it all works out. Congratulations.
I'm glad you made you're setting clear, healthy boundaries. That's what you've chosen to shield your child from, and those are your your expectations, and she should adhere to them. So I don't think you're an asshole at all. I actually commend stepping up and putting those boundaries in place.
Congratulations on your newborn. 8 months still newborn, right?
Well, congratulations on everything. She seems like,
I mean, you married your college sweetheart. Who would have thought that could work out, right?
Yeah. So I say
I didn't marry my college sweetheart, though. No. I had too many.
Oh, really? Oh.
I did marry my high school sweetheart, my main high school sweetheart.
Your main. I'm paying attention to details there. Main.
Hey, you know what it is.
Main.
You're my main squeeze. You're my main squeeze. Main squeeze does not mean there's like a billion other people. That's just the term.
I'm just letting you know, I'm your only squeeze.
You are my only squeeze.
Okay.
Give me a squeeze.
Let's just make sure you understand.
Give me a squeeze. No, I don't do all the other shit.
Okay.
I just open relationship.
I'm just letting it be known.
I don't even desire. I have
letting
no
you know
desire for that. That
my
sounds exhausting.
expectations, my boundaries.
Was this too much? We don't read names. We're not reading names unless you tell us to read names. So, but I can say that this from your same classmate friend that sent the Chestnut email.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see.
I might be biased. I might be a little biased, but I'm gonna try. We'll be all right.
Let's see.
Was this too much? Did I go too far reporting rude coworker to HR and office management after submitting an official complaint on me?
Oh.
Let's start by saying I have ADHD with anxiety. No meds, just taking mushroom coffee and white knuckling through the day. Currently in therapy.
Okay.
Shout out therapy. I was raised to treat others the way you want to be treated. The golden rule. So I was surprised when I got a complaint from the call center that I am rude and unwelcoming.
Oh.
Some of the call center staff have been moved to a large cubicle office where I sit. The short is they said I am making statements about why are they here? How long will they be here? It's going to be too loud. I am not this direct and mean. I take pride in being nice to everyone until they require otherwise. They put their name, I'm not going to say it. P.S. He got fired for not making his KPIs. Too much time vaping, not enough time answering the phones. So the question is, did they go too far reporting a rude coworker to HR and office management after a complaint was submitted on her?
I guess I'm missing part where I didn't even get the part where she reported it.
Well, she's telling us that she reported it. She reported it. I'm not certain what she reported.
Right. I mean, I hope it wasn't just.
I don't think it's too far.
No, but
I don't think it's too far at all.
I just hope it's not a retaliation because of.
I mean, it might be viewed as retaliation, but he got fired anyway.
Yeah, so he was clearly doing something that's not
too much time vaping, not enough time answering the phones.
Yeah,
you're working a call center, buddy. Tighten up.
Yeah. Well, what did they call her?
She's rude and unwelcoming.
Rude and unwelcoming.
She says she's not direct like that. She's gonna treat you right until you require otherwise.
You see a lot of that stuff. Those microaggressions, because
you know.
So I'm trying to read more into it. So like when you hear like those are all subjective things and how people are made to feel. So I don't know where it's coming from. So I don't know if there's more around the snippet that she's telling.
When I'm reading this, I'm thinking, oh, you're rude and unwelcoming. Just like I'm very scary because I'm so tall.
Right.
So whenever I'm in an office, it's so many things about me
so I don't
because I'm tall.
I don't want to read more into it or whatnot, but
we don't know.
I don't know. I can't decide one way or the other. I need more context.
But oftentimes when I hear some of these stories, these corporate stories, that people tell me, issues in the office. A lot of times, the first question I ask, well, tell me about the makeup of your office.
Correct.
So
And then
we're only black kids in the class. Are you the only black kid in the office? And that doesn't mean you can't be wrong.
Correct.
You could be
still
wrong
be
and
rude.
be black.
You could still be rude and be black.
But also, we also know what's kind of
what's
against
rude.
you.
Because is there a difference between you being rude and the other person being passionate?
Which
Don't even get me started. We're not gonna go down there because we're not gonna go down there.
But you know what it made me think? In the previous story about the bowling alley, when Butterface and pizza, butter.
It was pizza face and a bread pudding.
Pizza face and bread pudding, and bread pudding said, "Oh, as black women, we have to act a certain way," and I hate that shit. That's based on identity politics. That like respectability is earned by us if we can assimilate to a certain way.
You gotta do a certain thing.
Now, I do believe there's such thing as decorum and social responsibility.
There's unspoken code.
I do think that's a real thing and, respect people. Yeah. But I also think, when you see these people being assholes and you just stand up for yourself and suddenly you're an asshole.
Yeah,
why?
Call it out.
Why?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
Can you give me specifics? Can you show me directly how I'm rude? Can you give me examples?
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on that thing. Get me all around up. But if you called out something that was clearly there and already got fired, then that's not just you. That's someone, they were blatantly doing something. So it's not you did something to them.
I mean, you didn't get them fired.
Right.
You're not the asshole for going to HR. Just make sure you had a reason to go to HR. That's the real thing.
Yeah.
So I got a few more.
Okay.
Got some real brief ones. This one I didn't even know. They gave us no information. This is just spicy.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for sending my ex-wife a case of KY jelly after hearing she had a hysterectomy?
What? Huh? I don't even understand the correlation.
I don't know. It sounds like she dodged the bullet.
Yeah.
If I'm keeping it a buck.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't know how bitter and nasty either of you were to each other. It sounded like a divorce wasn't.
What does that even?
Too kind.
I don't understand the correlation.
Yeah, I don't. He might not understand female anatomy.
Yeah, I don't think he understands what that means.
Yeah. They can still they still have.
That
vaginas.
goes back to our viewer about the whole stupid thing. I like. That
Whoa,
word.
I didn't say all that.
I like the callback.
But I'm not disagreeing with you either. So we've started doing this thing. We haven't done it a lot, but last time we did it, it's basically in our stories on IG, I'll put a thing and it's like a little link, so you can send us your own story, and it's all anonymous. It's really anonymous. I can't see anything. It just sends me a message. So I think I said, tell us your toxic confessions, and that one that I just read was one of them. And here's another one that I took. So we mostly are going to just respond to these on IG, but I'll find a way where we can start responding to them on other channels as well.
Okay.
Maybe that could be in our Toxic Confessions weekly.
I like that.
I don't know. We'll see.
Uh-huh.
Things are always changing over here in Only Black Kids. So here's an anonymous toxic confession that was sent to us. When my ex and I would argue before bed, he would go to sleep. I would wait until I heard him snore. Then I would curl up in the tightest ball and mule kick him. He would wake up and scoot over to me to console me because I was having a bad dream.
Okay.
Do you know what a mule kick is?
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
I would never do that.
Even if you're just sleeping, even if you're actually sleeping, don't let that happen.
I mean, I wouldn't do that to you.
Don't let that happen.
I don't think I would do that.
Protect yourself. Protect yourself at all costs.
Don't you kick me either. Won't end well.
Why would I kick you?
I'm just saying.
I'm not a
I don't
kicker.
think either one of us would do that.
I'm so peaceful. I'm so peaceful. So we got another story.
Okay.
Another email. Another listener / viewer / classmate submission. Classmate submission is what we should call them. Would I be the asshole if I go to a coworker's brother's funeral?
Okay.
Need to hear more?
No.
Off rip, I'm going to say no, but I haven't read this one. I don't know. I don't know the story.
It must be something. So go ahead.
For context, I, 42, very pro-black male, worked with Larry, 67, white male coworker for the last 12 years. While I'm very pro-black, I give everyone a chance to be a decent human. Larry was my initial trainer and was pretty cool for the most part over the years. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed with cancer around 2018. I called and texted virtually every day for a year, checking on him. I had a busy life of my own, but still carved out time for him when only one other person besides me checked on him. Luckily, he overcomes it and eventually comes back to work in 2019.
Awesome.
In 2020, the pandemic happened, and at my job, if anyone caught the bug, they couldn't tell anyone what happened due to HIPAA laws. But if someone was magically off for 2 weeks, we had a good idea why. Well, my family caught it, so I had to take time off, and Larry didn't bother to check on my family. When I returned to work, he said, "Hey, look at the new guy." So clearly, he knew I was gone. So I don't speak to him for a while. In 2021, myself and a different coworker were victims of a road rage shooting, and Larry said, "We ruined the shooter's life by going to the police."
Oh.
What?
Oh,
Larry said, "What?" Let's just read that one more time.
Yeah.
So I don't speak to him for a while. In 2021, myself and a different coworker were victims of a road rage shooting, and Larry said, "We ruined the shooter's life by going to the police."
Oh, boy.
Obviously, now I'm completely done with him. Later in the year, he tries to talk to me, and I say, "Don't talk to me, leave me alone." He followed me for 2 hours like a stray dog, and I continued to politely say, "Stay away from me and leave me alone." Eventually, he corners me to talk, and among other things, he said, allegedly, to go die or retire, but get away from me.
What?
He eventually told HR, and I was nearly fired. He's saying that OP told him to go die or retire.
Oh,
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
I was nearly fired. Thankfully, I wasn't, and he eventually had to be sent for a psych eval because he said I bullied him into suicidal tendencies.
Wow.
He wrote something, and I'm going to say it, but again, only black kids is for everybody. He wrote, not me. White people shit. For the last couple years, he's lied on me, said I was a terrible worker, etc., while I've been quiet and continue to ascend in everything I do. Well, a couple of weeks ago, his brother died, and I was trying to go to the funeral just to give his family flowers while accidentally dropping my phone while it was playing Celebration by Kool and the Gang. What? What? Clearly, I hate him and have no shame. So after all that being said, am I the asshole for taking it that far? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so lost in this story. So
I'll read that part again. A couple of weeks ago, his brother died, and I was trying to go to the funeral just to give his family flowers while accidentally dropping my phone while it was playing Celebration by Kool and the Gang.
Oh, he wanted to do that. No,
I'm sorry. He put it in quotes. While accidentally
that's
dropping my
bad
phone
human.
while it was playing Kool and the Gang.
Oh no, that's not good. That's terrible.
In the same email, which makes it kind of weird, he put, "Update, I wasn't able to go to the funeral because it was invite only and none of my coworkers would let me be there +1. I'll link the road rage shooting and the funeral arrangements to show receipts. Love the show. Y'all are my 5 most listened to podcasts on my Spotify, so thank you both for the laughs." So he sent the obituary and he sent the road rage shooting, and yes, he says that's him. I am confused by this story.
I think I'm following it now. But you know what I'm going to tell this person is, I take that back. You're not a bad human. It seems like you're dealing with some trauma here, and Larry was a bad human, and you're trying to like retaliate. Don't ever let someone make you be lesser than who you are, kind of thing. So he was in this incident. He was very nice to Larry, is what I'm understanding, right? And he had cancer.
He was more than very nice to Larry.
Right.
He was extremely considerate and continued to check up
Correct.
on Larry.
And then whatever things happened after the fact, and he tried to get him fired, and he was just very bad to him. So then when his brother died, he tried to then retaliate, and like, you know, he had this plan to do something negative.
Well, let's go a little further. Not only was he so kind to Larry, and then Larry, OP goes through an extreme trauma, which he has sent us this. I'll show this to you. He goes through an extreme trauma.
That's crazy.
And then Larry basically, I don't know if he's joking or really just being a terrible human being, says, "Oh, well, you messed with the other guy's life."
Yeah.
Which is terrible. But then when he tries to stay away from Larry, Larry then says, "Oh, you said this about me." He's making up shit. He's lying.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make
my man loses his job, which
Yes.
most of us
That's
need
crazy.
our jobs.
Correct.
So you're really going after my life.
Yeah.
Not to mention Larry doesn't check on his family when he had COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not being nice, hoping that someone does it
No,
in return.
I get you,
but it's also appreciated.
he's hurt.
Yeah.
He's hurt. Larry's about human.
You would be the asshole
if you had
done that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you did not do that. And I'm going to say, let's put that focus back on you. Let's put that energy into you, into positive shit in your life.
Yeah.
You said that you continue to ascend in all that you do.
Continue
I love
to
that.
ascend.
But in this situation, I'm never against too much. Petty has its place. But in this situation, I don't think it calls for you to be petty. Nah. You wouldn't be being you.
Yeah, that's not your character.
You need to continue to ascend.
Yeah.
And let these fucked up people be fucked up. But you don't have to go play in their fucked up sandbox.
Don't let them bring you down like that. Don't let them bring you down like that. Yeah.
And you see here, he has sent his top 5 podcasts.
Woohoo!
And right
We're
there
on the list.
At number 5, we are the only black kids in the class.
Well, we thank you for listening. But don't let someone else have that much power over your life to make you do things that you wouldn't normally do outside your character. Yeah, I don't like that at all. It seems like you've been very strong. You've been very empathetic, supportive. Continue that way. You'll get taken care of. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, he perhaps didn't deserve all that.
Yeah.
But now it's time for you to keep giving yourself that energy.
Absolutely.
Give it to your family and give it to the friends that are reciprocating and deserve it too.
It always works out for you. The good guys win.
So this is a long episode.
Yeah.
So long, we almost thought about making it a 2-parter. But we stuck it out. This is the longest episode of Only Black Kids in the Class ever?
Yeah.
I think so.
Next time I'm going to need two Vietnamese coffees.
Okay. You guys heard it here first. She said next time, which means our 2-year anniversary
Maybe we do
is only a year away.
Only a year away.
If you count the episodes, this is like I honestly never keep up with the number, but we're like at 55 or 56, maybe even 57. Because our first day I dropped 3. That's a little tip if you're trying to get started in some content. Drop enough to let the algorithm start getting a hint of who you are. So we have never missed a Wednesday. We've been out of town and recorded. We've come back into town and just recorded immediately. We get these episodes out.
We've recorded super late.
We used to only record super late. We used to start pretty late and then do 2 episodes.
And then there's a couple of times where it was like, we have to do it. It's late. But we did it.
Yep.
We did it.
What are you thinking next for the OBK?
I don't know, my love. I really don't know.
Yeah, you just show up and read.
Yeah, I'm here for the ride.
Okay. I'm here for the ride too. I didn't mean it. There was no innuendo in that whatsoever.
Sure.
But if you wanted to be, there really wasn't. I'm here for the ride. I've got some ideas for next year.
Okay.
I got some ideas.
Okay.
Some things
I trust you.
that I'm already plotting out.
All right.
I think I said something last time, so I'm not gonna say it again.
I trust you.
I'm gonna say one thing.
What's one thing
for next year? TBP.
Oh, I actually know what that means.
You do?
Yeah.
TBP.
Okay. TBP.
So it's not going to be less Only Black Kids. We're trying to have more Only Black Kids, and we're trying to vary it. I think I can confidently say that OBK Reacts is coming back.
Okay.
You've been more down to do it than me.
That's right. Listening. I don't do the technical stuff.
It's not just the technical stuff. It's a confluence of many things in my life, in particular, especially in the last few months with my mom. So it's a number of things. We never wanted to stop, but we wanted to make sure this is the main thing, and we never wanted to fall off on this. And so to make sure this could remain strong, we let some of the other things fall off.
Right. We prioritize.
I'm confident. I can confidently say OBK Reacts is coming back. I don't know if it's going to be every week as we initially did, but it is coming back.
Yeah, I don't know if I can commit all that too.
We might even have the random movie. I don't think the movie is going to be something we do on a regular basis.
You're right. I think it's, we'll have to play it by ear.
But I'm just going to end with TBP.
TBP.
What that means, when you'll find out, can't say.
TBP.
TBP.
You know, I got something else in my head, but I'm not going to bring it up.
It really sounds like you're saying, cooking with Kaya.
That's exactly where I was going.
Kaya.
That's exactly where I was going.
I don't get it. A girl showing cleavage on the internet.
Hey, she actually cooks.
And then saying that she's going to take your man. If the biggest problem you have in your life is that...
I don't know. The whole people, are people mad with her?
I'm hoping that's just a trend
I don't understand
for
that.
them to do.
But she actually could cook.
I'm hoping it's a joke that people are mad. But if people are actually mad, you have bigger issues in your relationship.
Yeah, I don't like all the recipes, but she can cook.
Okay.
Yeah.
TBP. Anything you want to say to close out our 1-year anniversary of Only Black Kids in the Class?
One thing only. Thank you. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon. I mean, we're still going to drop next week, so see you soon. Wait.
Bye.
So next week will be our Christmas episode.
Christmas.
Or is it a holiday episode?
Well, we celebrate Christmas, so it's our Christmas episode, but we open it for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Christmas.
Oh. You know, last year, not to drag this out, but last year we had the battle of Black Christmas movies. And I mean, I clearly won, but I'm thinking...
No, you didn't clearly win.
What are the other Black Christmas movies? Okay. All right. If you hear this, send us in your favorite Christmas movies / favorite Black Christmas movie.
Oh, okay. Just Christmas movies in general? I already know. I think I've already said mine.
Just send us your favorite Black Christmas movie.
Alrighty.
But you're going to go with the same one from last year?
My favorite, like, Christmas
okay,
movie.
but we're going to do the same war again?
No, I got a different war.
Okay, we'll see. 1 year of Only Black Kids in the Class. What started as me just wanting to get my wife on camera because I thought she was amazing and people would like to watch her has turned into a small yet growing community. We greatly appreciate you. I never thought we'd ever get an email. We just did. That's like our third time doing a show, maybe fourth time of only Classmate Submissions, and we're going to have more. We want to keep doing more. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much to the friends, to the people who share. My friend just told me that his mom watches us every week. Who knew?
I know. It's for everybody. I love it.
It's for everybody. It's for Black kids. It's for white kids. It's for others. It's for everybody. It's for our Irish classmates.
Oh, that's right.
Which we have several, apparently. For our Bajans.
And I was going to say Barbados, yeah.
I mean, who knew? Who knew? Guys, there's this little, we can see some list of them things. Ooh. We're like one of the top relationship podcasts in Trinidad. It makes me think they don't have too many relationship podcasts in Trinidad. But hey, we're tops. You can listen to us on Apple, which took so long to get sorted, but it's sorted now. Spotify, YouTube. I don't know where else, but maybe somewhere else. Thank you. We look forward to doing more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.